Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing?
Sir, finishing this fight.
What is up, Woodsters? Welcome back to another Mega review. This day we're talking about the Halo Mega Elephant and why some of you LEGO fans may even want to consider picking this up. The box is huge and comes with 2,041 pieces, is rated for 13 plus, and opens up very nicely, revealing everything packed very tightly. Now this is no joke. This is a huge Mega set, and thus we get bags upon bags upon bags. I opened it up, the highest number I found was 33, but in actuality there were 34 bags in the entire thing. This didn't take too many hours to finish, but we've got 5 minifigures and this huge Leviathan or Behemoth elephant. More on that later. But this set is entirely printed detail. There are no stickers on this thing at all, and the pieces look phenomenal. With all LEGO or Mega sets, there are a few issues, but with that said, let's get right into this huge build. Of course, for my LEGO fans too, keep an open mind here because this may be Mega. It's not a knockoff. This is an absolutely genuine Mega set designed by their own designers, and you're gonna love it. Starting up on the front side of this massive build, we've got a completely open cavern in the front to fit minifigures and even some small vehicles through too. Inside the front of the elephant, we also get a large style crate that fits a bunch of extra tread pieces. Closes up nicely and fits in there snug in the corner. It's large enough to fit some small vehicles, but you're not gonna have a great time trying to fit drop pod. But why would you want to put a drop pod in an elephant? Regardless, it's still built pretty sturdy, but you probably don't want to pick it up from there. You're better just using 2 hands and picking it all up carefully. It's still brick. Just like the original elephant, we also have a bunch of lights in the front, which add just a perfect amount of detail to this elephant. They all are molded with like a vented feel. They look pretty good. On the front, we also have a bunch of these circular hook pieces. They don't have a use, but they add detail. Moving up to the top side, we have this turret, which spins 360 degrees, and it can also move up and down. So it could literally fit any of Mega's minifigures and looks pretty good too. It's very accurate and ultimately just fits your Halo 3 style turret gun. It is also completely brick built too, which is something we didn't have in the previous elephant, which I think is nice. It gives you a little bit more stuff to build and ultimately helps you feel accomplished that you built your own turret. They also use a genius technique here to attach this box on the side of the elephant that holds up the turret. It allows them to put 2 triangular tiles on their sides to look like the supports. This was honestly one of my favorite builds of the whole set. Absolutely genius. Looks great with all this printed tile. On the top of the front, and something that you could see before, are these little rubber bands that stick out here. Those rubber bands help hold open this hatch that if you flick it on this side, opens up like that. Inside is the absolute best looking tile I have ever seen printed in my life. I am so happy that Mega decided to include this, even though it has nothing to do with an elephant at all. The fact that they have this reference to Halo 3 and the Prophet of Truth is just fantastic. The tile is just slightly overshadowed with the mechanism itself, but the rest of the space is used completely as storage, and those rubber bands help this thing from falling over. Although that's kind of the problem area, is it doesn't look great from the front, and you can see the control panel when it's moving up and down. I don't love that. But on the other side, we have the actual control panel from the elephant itself and the windscreen, which can pop down if you wanted to. But the control panel looks great. It's just got 2 joysticks and this printed control panel. The front Leviathan that we saw earlier can be switched out for the Behemoth. They give you both tiles, so essentially if you bought 2, you could have a Behemoth and a Leviathan. Speaking of printed tiles though, that entire Marines logo is all printed tiles built together and looks so good. Just under that, we have one of our tool sections as well as these extra treads that are attached to every single tread. But above it, we have second turret, which is made to move in 360 degrees, but really this is one of the turrets that is made specifically for minifigure hands to hold. This does bring an accuracy issue though, because this turret is not seen in Halo 3 at all. I see why they did this, although I think it's a little bit lazy, but this is actually George's chain gun from Halo Reach. This turret is not in Halo 3 and shouldn't really be included in the set. It does make it detachable and usable by a figure, but at the expense of accuracy, I think they could have just added regular turret and had that be used by figure too. The treads on the bottom though are all individual, which is fantastic when building it, and they move fairly well. Although you can kind of see here, they tend to slide on some of them, or some will roll really well and others will just kind of be stuck. It happens on both sides too. On both sides though, we do get a bunch of tools, including this spade and UNSC logo. We also get this pickaxe, all usable by minifigures too. Even the gas canister can be held by minifigure. The backpack can be used, another gas canister, this axe, even another pickaxe right under the Marines logo, and another gas canister. Even then, there are a bunch of tools inside. Again, all usable by minifigures. They went above and beyond and put tools on both sides and left 2 clips available for guns or something else, I guess. But in the back, they have something new with this elephant. You can move the ramp down, which is nice. And it can also completely open up. This is fantastic for play or even display, being able to fit your hands in there, move that screen around, which looks super nice, by the way, and allows you to fit a ton of minifigures that would be really hard to cram in there. But I'll just show you 2 for this perspective. It does fit those mini vehicles like I suggested earlier, and it can fit a Warthog if it doesn't slide out. Warthog does fit in there pretty snug, but you can close it up completely on both sides as well as the back and have the Warthog stay in there. Just won't fit much else. Detailing on the back is tiles and grates and more circular hooks. One of my favorite parts about the set though are these treads themselves. They are completely brick built into something Mega really hasn't attempted much before, and they did a wonderful job. These are using ball joints, a bunch of tiles, and ultimately get the angle that they need to. There are also caution signs riddled throughout this thing, which is all just printed detail, which leads us to the crane. The crane is an iconic part of the elephant, and they got it perfectly right, just like last time. It is using the exact same mold, albeit with an updated print and colors, which looks super nice, but does indeed still spin 360 degrees. And with that little hook piece on the front, you can hook on crates or even people if you had the right pieces. That part does tighten up completely and go down all the way, farther, much farther than this. Right underneath that, we have this beautiful UNSC logo, which goes to show you what printing can do. These back wind covers or flaps look super nice and are all done built with tiles. I will say they are a little bit fragile, but they look great, so I'm willing to take that despite a few issues I've had with them. However, without any further ado, let's take a look at these beautiful, beautiful minifigures. Mega didn't necessarily go all out with these figures, but the figures we got are well-rounded. It makes sense to have in an elephant mostly, and they are all figures that were fairly in high demand. Starting off with our 2 Marines, these are both newer style Marines, including the removable helmets, and these visors are different too. These are the first Halo 3 Marines that we've gotten in the new style with that visor printing, and of course the helmet is removable. Both of these faces are just generic Marine faces, and the entire rest of the body is the exact same Marine that we got in the minifigure series a few months ago. These figures are probably the least interesting, and thus I'll be covering them the least, but you can see from the back they are the exact same Marines we have had already. Still accurate and looking good. Moving on to our star of the show, Master Chief himself from Halo 3. Immediately when pulling out this Master Chief, I noticed the visor color is very accurate to the Halo 3 posters. The shoulders and sides look very good, albeit the exact same that we've gotten before. The back looks fantastic, but it is again all the same. From the other side, you can see the battle rifle he comes with and his other shoulder. I wish he would have come with a printed battle rifle. Moving on to the legend himself, Sergeant Johnson is looking fantastic in this. However, good news for me, but bad news for most people who don't have the Halo Heroes version, this figure is just not as detailed as the Heroes version. And I'm glad they did that to preserve the value of the old ones, but if you wanted a Halo 3 Johnson, it's still attainable. Because of that though, this is the coolest yet most disappointing figure in the set. Because as we can see from the side and the rest of the figure, the entirety is the Marine body. The head is the only difference. I really love Johnson, and I think they did the character a disservice by not having him even slightly more detailed than the Marines. But a figure that makes up for everything is Lord Hood, finally a figure we've been waiting for in Mega for years. On the side, you can see he's got painted cuffs on his arms, painted shoulders, just looks so good. From the back, you can see more of that detailing that they used on the shoulders, as well as on his waist, he's got a little belt. The back is less impressive than everything else, but from the front, Lord Hood just absolutely shines. Everything down to, even his eyes don't even look that bad, but the hat, the insignias, his ranking on his chest. This is a figure that we have been waiting for over 10 years. It is so good that we finally have this figure, and the way they did it is perfect. He deserved a painted Magnum, but other than that, I don't think they could have done this any better. It looks just like Lord Hood, and it's about time we get this figure in hand. So while this may not be the best Mega set we've ever had, this is certainly one of the best builds we've gotten in a very long time. And I'm saying from Lego and Mega. I love the way that this comes together, the presence of the set while not being super high on the piece count and also being affordable. This is very well done. The figure selection may not be as detailed as I wanted. The figures that we have are phenomenal in this set, and if you want anything UNSC, this is the absolute one to get. Having Johnson, Hood, and Chief all in one set with 2 minifigures is absolutely crazy, especially considering you can get this on a deal on Amazon for like 160 bucks a lot of the time. Like, this is the set to have. So my Lego fans, check this set out and check out some of the Mega stuff, because it's actually a lot better than you might think. They've got their own designs, they've got really great figures, and their part quality is fairly on par with Lego. So thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to comment down below. Tell me what you think about Mega if you're a Lego fan. If you're a Mega fan and you've never tried Lego out, tell me what theme you'd want to see Mega have, or what you want to try in Lego. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.